for not being able to hold this session last week as promised. I mean, I had to send a message out to every registered participant to let you know that we had a little glitch last week, and so we could not hold the session. But today promises to be a very insightful and educative time here with our facilitator, Adejoke Lasisi. I mean, I am very much sure that we all are really going to enjoy today's session, fetching from a pool of wealth and learning from how she went about going into the recycling space and being able to maintain that space and doing all the great things that she has been able to do in that space. And so I look forward to us learning a whole lot from her. But then I'd like to crave our indulgence because we have just a very few people on the session right now. I'd like to crave our indulgence. Please let me know in the chat box if you agree with me that we give others a chance to join this session. And so we should start the session, say by 11:15 on the dot. Who is with me on that? Please let me know. So we give them about 6 minutes to join the session. Please kindly let me know in the chat box if you agree with me. Thank you very much. I see Galaxy AO for agreeing with me. Thank you. Oh, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, since I have your backing on that, I would say let's just hold on for others to join us and we'll start the session exactly 11:15. Thank you all very much once again for joining this early. Yeah. Okay. Apparently, it's exactly 11:15 a.m. And just like we agreed, I think it's just about time we start, and others will join us as we proceed. So, good morning again to everyone. Thank you all very much for joining today's session. And like I told you earlier, it promises to be a very insightful session because we have today on the session facilitating this masterclass someone who has been there, done it, and understand the space that we are speaking to. Our topic today is none other than the very much topic we've been promoting and every one of us have been looking forward to, and that is sustainable waste management. And we're looking at the best practice and the case studies, that is, live studies that we can share on, and then looking at how the practice is in that space. And today we are having with us our very own Adejoke Lasisi. Adejoke Lasisi has done a lot of great things in the space of the green economy and waste management. And so we count ourselves lucky for her to be on this session this morning to talk to us on the best practices and the case studies that we can have in that space. Before I go on, I'd say let me introduce myself properly. My name is Eric Shobukola Oluwafumilayo, Business Support Officer here at LSETF. And let me quickly tell us a little bit about LSETF for those of us that do not know about LSETF and what we do at LSETF. LSETF is Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, a Lagos state's agency that has been created to see to enabling job creation for the Lagos residents. And when we say we enable job creation, we do this through our various programs that we have at LSETF. And part of the programs that we run at LSETF is we have loan programs, we have loan programs, we have employability programs, and our employability programs speak to we trying to give job opportunities to young people within the age of 18 to 35. And we also have the Lagos Innovate program, and we also have our business support program. All of these programs seek to find a way of enabling job creation by promoting the ecosystem in these spaces. For the loan program, we give loan facilities to business owners with the repayments and repayment percent of 9%, a single digit percent for those in the business space. And for the employability program, we give opportunity for skills acquisition for youth within the age of 18 to 35. And for our Lagos Innovate program, we have opportunities for those in the tech space to get tech space vouchers, and also have events where we could help them with getting them opportunity for investors and pitching their ideas and scaling their tech ideas. We also have a business support program in which we give alternative to fundings to business owners, and we give opportunities for grants, capacity building opportunity, access to market to showcase your goods and services. And then we also give opportunity for trainings where you can have cohort trainings and trainings that can help you to be scalable. I haven't told you all of these. I think for those that do not know about LSETF, you're able to know what we do at LSETF and how far coming we have come to support your business and at the same time help your business scale and at the same time give opportunities to Lagos residents in order for us to put and push aside the poverty line and be able to scale everybody. Once again, thank you all very much for joining this session this morning. And like I said, we have on the session Adejoke Lasisi, our facilitator. Briefly, I'm going to tell you about Adejoke and how far Adejoke has come and what she has done so far in the ecosystem. Adejoke Lasisi is a talented Nigerian fashion designer and environmentalist. She is making waves in the fashion industry by using innovative techniques to develop fashion products and to design using nylon and textile waste. Adejoke is the founder of and the CEO of Planet 3R, a company focused on creating sustainable fashion products. And she's also the CEO of Joke Links Weaving School, where she trains aspiring fashion designers. She has passion for weaving, and this began at a very young age when she started weaving with her parents at the age of 9. After completing a secondary school education, she went on to attend Obafemi Awolowo University, one of the most prestigious universities in Nigeria, where she obtained a bachelor degree in economics. She also holds a certificate in entrepreneurial management from Enterprises Development Center in Lagos, Nigeria, EDC. Adejoke's commitment to promoting sustainable fashion has earned her numerous awards and recognition, including a recognition award from the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. She has groundbreaking works. Her groundbreaking works has not only provided alternative approach to fashion, but has also helped to reduce the environmental impact of the industry by promoting the use of recycling material. Adejoke is leading the way in creating a more sustainable and environmental friendly fashion industry. And would you please join me to welcome Adejoke? Please let me see it in the chat box as we welcome her to take the floor and educate us on this ecosystem of recycling. You're welcome, Adejoke. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. But I'm finding it difficult to actually switch my video on. Is there a way you can do that?
Okay. Let me see.
It said that it's okay. Thank you.
Can you do that now? Thank
Yes,
you
yes.
very much. Oh, so good to see you. You look very good. And
Thank
well
you.
done on all that you did in representing us in Kigali. I mean, it was a very awesome one. And congratulations on your award. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you have the floor this morning. Please
Yes.
go ahead and educate us. I would like to hear
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for this opportunity, for actually allowing me. I appreciate Lagos State Employment Trust Fund for this opportunity, and also want to apologize for not making it last week. It was actually like my flight got delayed, everything like that. So, but I'm happy that we're here today, and I'm very excited, and I just want to encourage us to be open-minded, because one thing that I know is that with creative mind, you can do a lot of things impossible. Like you can just keep creating different things. So once you are just open your mind, the possibilities are just endless. So when I started Ashoke, they've already said a lot about me already. So I was actually born into Ashoke business, my mom's work. So like what I'm putting on this Ashoke. So I use Ashoke, like just with it was just for fun. Then later we just help my mom, myself and my younger ones. But I started weaving Ashoke professionally, like very, very well. Like I could say that I hold my own loom at age 9. That was around 27 years ago. And I started looking at that time, we didn't have much waste around, like as much as we have right now. Because 1994, 1995, we have waste, but now we have almost everything in sachet. Like those times we used to buy Congo, like okay, go and buy detergent in Congo. I'm sure that some of us that came earlier, then all this Omo that is usually inside Congo. Like you just buy that, they'll pack everything for you inside your bucket or something. Then most of the time, there were no pure water at that time, so we didn't even have anything as pure water sachet or something. The only thing that came later was all this ice water that they pour inside nylon and stuff like that. So And the kind of waste that they really generate are kind of minimal, like unlike now that we have waste everywhere. And I'm not just talking about plastics or, nylon waste. You see textile waste everywhere. You see electronic waste, a lot of waste that we keep generating. And one thing that I really want us to know is that nature does not generate waste. It is us, we humans are the one that generate waste. And this is one of the things I came up with that, okay, how about we create opportunities for people that are actually the ones that are generating the waste? How can we create opportunities from the same problem that we are creating? Because the truth is, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones that is going to create solution to those problems. Nobody is going to come from outside to come and solve those problems for us, because we are the ones, like, we know the problem better. And the solution would be the kind of idea, the kind of approach we are going to bring to it. It will be something that will be much more okay for our society, our community. So to just cut the long story short, I started weaving Adejoke. But later, when COVID-19 came, I used to think about, like, how can I use my weaving skills? How can I use it to, like, solve this problem that I see around me? And this is one thing I always want us to really know. Let us look inward. What is it that you are very, very good at, that you can do effortlessly? You can do it without stress. Like, it is something that is in you. You do it very, very well. So this is the kind of thing that when you've been able to discover something like that, it's always easier for you to use that skill, such whatever thing that that, okay, you have. It's easier for you to use it to, like, make a difference, to create that solution that you've been looking at. For instance, now some people they know how to speak very well. They use that speaking, to make sure that, to create awareness in climate action, in this and that. So, when you look at yourself, it becomes much easier for you to, like, do things in that aspect, in that sector at which you know that you are good at. Because one of the things I always encourage some of my mentees to do is that, when you try to say that, okay, I'm not saying some people can motivate you, they can inspire you, but do not just say, okay, because of that, okay, you just want to switch completely into the place. Look at yourself. What are you good at? What can you create from that your discipline? Because if you try to go and learn new skills, the truth is you will not be an expert at it immediately. You still have to go through stages: intermediary, advanced, professional, expert. Before you get to that expert stage, it takes time. So imagine you doing something in your own field, in something that has your strengths. Like, that it is your, it's something that you can do effortlessly. And this is one of the things that I advise everyone to do: SWOT analysis on each, on ourselves. We should do it not just on our business, but on our personal selves too. We should do SWOTs. And what do I mean by SWOT? Is actually the short form of strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So you know the things that you have strength in, you know your weaknesses. So the things that you know that, okay, this is your strength, you leverage on it very, very well. The things that you see as your weakness, you can outsource those, so that you'll be able to get your results. The opportunities, the threats, you know how to, like, eliminate or make sure that you find a way to reduce those threats. So these things actually help a lot. When I was starting Planet 3R, let me tell you a little bit about Planet 3R. Planet 3R is actually it is a social enterprise that converts textile and plastic waste into innovative items. So when I wanted to start, I've been looking at it that, okay, the waste were not really this much when we were growing up, although they were waste too, but now it is now everywhere. It is so much. And I see pure water sachet everywhere. I see different waste. But one of the things I look at, if you want to start going to any sector, make your research very well. Try and calm down and research and understand the sector. So one of the things I did was that I look at what other people are already doing in waste management sector. I see that, okay, a lot of people are already working with, PET bottles. They're already working with tires. Some work with electronic waste. And besides, even if they don't work with electronic waste, I know that I do not have what it takes to actually, like, convert or do anything with electronic waste, because I do not have any prior knowledge of that, or I would say that it is not something that really interests me like that, unlike craft, unlike art and everything. So I knew that, okay, whatever I want to do, like it has to be something that is more related to, like, art and some things that are related to fashion, like that, because as my background with Ashoke and stuff like that. So I look at that. I look at what other people are already doing, and I realize that many people are not really working with pure water sachet. They are not working with all these nylon, black nylon, yellow and black nylons like that. And it's everywhere. Like you see it clogging all the drainage, and it affects water to like flow freely. So, I've been seeing this problem, but one thing that now motivated me the more was my community, Ogunbade, Ibadan here. So there's this bridge that enters into my community. So that bridge, whenever it rains during rainy season, in the night, if it rains overnight, people will not be able to go to school, will not be able to go outside that community, like to go to work or anything. It's always that bad. Like water will fill up everywhere. Houses around the place, water will enter their houses. Like it's always that much like that. And if it rains during the day, people will not be able to enter the community. So I look at this thing. I did video, put it online. That maybe government was going to help us. Up till now, there's no still help on that community. However, I looked at it at the end of the day, anytime that the water go down, like dry up finish, you see a lot of waste, especially nylons, plenty nylons, plenty plastic bottles everywhere. And I now look at it that water would have actually been going free if not for these, obstacles of all this waste that have been like hindering the water to like move freely. So I look at it and I look at that community. I asked around. I'm telling you, I don't even need to ask around that much because many people in that community, many people just build like, one room, two rooms. What is fence? What is even door? So most people could not afford waste management companies like to come and be packing their waste and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, what can we do? How can we create opportunities from this problem so that it will create job, especially for women and girls that that are usually at home in the community that are not really going out. How can we create this opportunity for them? And that was why I now came up with the weaving skills. Like, okay, let me use the weaving skills that I know that I can do very well. Let me use it to like do something in this community so that we can use it to weave this waste that we see around us, and it will create opportunity, especially like, my aim before was just, SDG Go 13, climate action, and Go 11, sustainable cities and stuff like that. So that was only the aim initially. And this is one of the things that I love about sustainable development goals is like, when you actually do it well, when you do it right, you just find out that your solution is actually solving problem of other goals, like not just goals, not just the primary goal that you set into to like achieve, but it's actually achieving other goals as well. So I now realize that, wow, this thing, like if it's actually done right, it can actually solve this no poverty goal one, which is, and like I keep saying it, that most of the time, you know, for us to really get other messages, other things like rights, especially to achieve sustainable development goals by year 2030, we need to make sure that that first going. Because when people are living below poverty level, they will not listen to anything. They will not want to even hear what you are saying. No matter the awareness you are trying to create, when people are hungry, when people are not really well okay, like they will not listen to you. So I feel like it is very, very important, like that one number one. I feel that was one of the reasons why they put it in that number one, because it's kind of related to other ones. So we started it, a lot of challenges. It did not work out well, I'm telling you. When we came up with it, and this is one of the things I always like to share too. When you're coming up with new ideas, make sure that you document your process. Document your process, because you don't know the one that will work. You don't know the exact one that will that will really work well for you. So, but when you document them, for instance, like when we started with the pure water sachet, we started using, like, we cut it into like four, and we were like, okay, this thing is too thick. It was not okay at all. we cut it in like 6, we cut it like 10. We're like, no, it's too light, it's too tiny and everything, that it's not going to be durable. So we look at all those things, and our process is that we combine 10% thread with those nylons that we weave, because we don't want to create another waste from waste. So we want it to be durable, something that will last long, so that it's going to like we are trying to give it a longer shelf life, so that it's not just something that we take from the landfill and it ends up on the landfill immediately. So we try as much as possible to like include the things that will make it durable. And these are the things that we have to like make sure that we cultivate that habit when we are doing things, waste related product or something. So when we came up with some product with those things that we now, so when we now like, okay, cut it into 6, and we're now like, wow, this thing is actually very nice. But through documentation, it helps you to like see all the mistakes that you've done, learn from them, do another one, try again. And and we came up with a very good material, fabric material from pure water sachet. So now to do products, that was now another challenge again. And there's one thing that I forgot to tell you. When I was trying to like try to process that the fabric, the sachet itself, my mom that always supports me the most, she was like, Jokema, waste the time, like, can you only work? Like, she was like, Joke, don't waste your time. This thing will not work. Because she saw all the efforts I was putting into it. I was doing this, I was doing that. It was not, it was like, it was not really working well. And eventually when it came out well, she now came. She now thought, she was like, sorry. Like, she was like, this is what I'm talking about. And I'm like, I just look at her like, she actually discouraged me. And sometimes we shouldn't allow people to just discourage us easily. I know that sometimes they love us, they don't want us to fail, they don't want us to feel bad, and that's why they try to like say that, okay, we should stop doing that, don't go through all the stress, all the heartbreak. It's not only relationship that people have heartbreak, you actually have heartbreak in business too as well. So I look at all those things, and she now started advocating for us. She was like, Mother nylon pure water, no, as in, like, don't throw away pure water nylon. Joke will need it. And and that's just the way it works. Just make sure that your result speaks for you. Do not try to like argue and spend time on trying to tell people why it will work or something. Use that energy. Use it on your work. Just focus on what you are doing. And before you know it, like, that result will come out. So as I was saying, so we try to make some few products from it. I'm telling you, those products, even me myself, I cannot buy them. Like they were looking so, like, they were looking ugly. They were not good at all, like those products. But it is what it is. And that's one thing that I now said that, okay, when I look at the product, I was like, what can I do? What can I do? So I did customer discovery. It is very, very important. When you're coming up with new ideas, even if it's an existing business, but you're coming up with new products, it's always good to get feedback of customers, to get to know, like, okay, what is it like? How do they feel? Would they buy it? Would they do this? So I asked a few questions. So I selected up to like 20 customers, 20 potential customers. So I asked them, do they see waste in their community? Some say that they have waste in their community. Some say that they live in estates whereby they don't have waste litter around. However, when they go to markets, they see waste around and they don't like it. They see waste on the streets and stuff like that. So, I try to get different, feedback from different people. And even when I was doing the customer discovery, I made sure that I didn't use just people in my community. I use people from different communities, even outside the country, just to get their own, perspective, just to understand how these wastes, how it actually goes around and stuff like that. So I asked them that if we make products, would they buy it? And they were like, yes, they will buy it if it is attractive, if it is hygienic enough. And this is one of the reasons why, when we get our sachet, before we use it, we make sure that, we sterilize them thoroughly, in order for us to make sure that, okay, it's free of bacteria and everything like that. So, when you're able to like let people in and, like let them understand what you are doing and get their feedback. It actually helps. They were like, if it's colorful, if it's this. So instead of us to start using, before we're using just one color of thread to combine with the pure water sachet, which that color of thread is actually the same color of the pure water sachet. So sometimes it just looks ugly like that, the same thing. But when we now, after the feedback, I was able to summarize all the feedback in line to like 5 pages. And honestly, I'm telling you, it really, really helps a lot. It helps a lot. It's something that you should try if you are trying out new products or, new innovation, new business. It helps a lot. So from the feedback, I realized, okay, they want something colorful. So instead of us to start using just one color, we started mixing the color together to make it colorful. It doesn't now look boring again. We started improving on our products development. It started coming out okay. And so another challenge that we now had is that some people like, why should they buy products made from waste? Why can't they just like buy products that is new and everything like that? So that one too, that one is another work on its own, I'm telling you. But one of the things that actually helped out was storytelling. I always say this, try storytelling. It works like magic. And don't just tell story. Tell stories that are relatable, that people understand, in non-experts words. Don't use some big grammars and that people will not understand easily when they see your posts. Use just simple English to like describe your story, what you go through, like how many tons, how many kg of waste, how many sachet of pure water was able to make the bag. If they buy the bag, how many jobs is it going to create? You can even talk about your challenges, the challenges that you face while making that product. All these things, they really, really, really help a lot in like getting people to like trust you, to trust your brand, to trust what you do, to be part of it because they feel like they are part of it due to those stories that you tell online. So storytelling is actually one way to build something that you're doing, to build your brand. It helps me. It's one of the things that I've used over the years, and it has really helped out. So another thing that I used again was that, I told you that when I was going into industry, I tried to research other people that are in the industry as well. And not just people that are making products now, but people that advocate, people that create awareness about climate action and everything. So I leverage a lot on social media, especially Twitter. So I tag some people that I know that, okay, they are actually interested in climate action and everything. And before you know it, they started reposting, our post went viral and this and that. And, we started getting a lot of recognition, a lot of social, a lot of media presence, and, it gives us much visibility. So that's one of the things I know that, thank God for internet now, it really helps you to know to like reach like a larger scope. So aside from doing that, we now make sure that, most of all these industries, the people, other experts in the industry, they do not see us as a competitor. Rather, they see us as people that they can collaborate with because they feel like, okay, I do something with tire, she makes something with pure water sachet. Can I have the fabric? Can we make Ottoman a seat with the tire? So we use the fabric that made from the pure water sachet to like use it as the cloth seats. A lot of things like that we started collaborating. So people be like, okay, can we get bags, conference bags for our conference? So they see us as someone. So they too, they'll be able to use it to talk at their conference that, okay, we are not just talking about climate action, we're actually like living it. These bags that you see here are made from pure water sachet and stuff like that. So, in a way, it's actually a win-win. So this is one of the things that when you are going into an industry, think about to complement existing solution. Please actually note that. Think of how you can complement existing solution, not to compete with existing solutions. Think of how you can complement them. The solution is already there. Identify that gap. What is it that they are not doing yet? how can you use your own skill? How can you use your own idea, your own this thing to like solve that problem, to close that gap, to bridge that gap? And in that way, others will see you as people that they can work with, that they can collaborate with. So this is one of the things that help us to. Collaboration is actually very, very, very important, especially for people that are just starting up. Try and see how you can collaborate with big brands that that they have the presence already, they have the name already. So imagine like collaborating with some big brands like that, and they talk about you that, okay, this is something, and they mention your name. With that, all these big organizations to be able to identify with you, to know you. And this is one of the things that helps you, like getting funding for your projects. It helps a lot, because you'll be able to like state it there that these are your previous projects. Even though you partner with someone, you collaborated with someone, you can still say it as your project because you were involved in that project. And aside from that, because sometimes they might even ask where they can find the link to that project, where they can find your work. Those big brands, maybe luckily for you, they even like some newspaper even talk about it and everything, and they mention your name today. And those kind of link, you can just send it to them, and before you know it, they will get to know your name too. And that's how you actually grow, and that's how you get those funding that will help you to do more in what you do, because it helps us a lot. It really, really helps us a lot. And again, another thing that we do is that thinking ahead, not just getting, not just being comfortable with the stage at which I am. Aside from the fact that I'm trying to learn more about the circular economy, sustainability, because I always that there's difference between circular economy and sustainability, although they kind of like work in sync like that. When we look at sustainability is actually a whole, it's a whole process on its own. It's all about the business, the entire business. It's not just about a product. It is all about the entire business, the practices, like what you do at the place, your like do you is your environment, like it's not just about the product now that you say, okay, sustainable product. No, but is that business, is it sustainable itself? Like, the sustainability of everything. Come talk about the money, talk about maybe in the business, you say, okay, you use solar, the kind of energy, you make sure that your production process does not generate as it does as any other environmental pollution. A lot of things that that has to be in business, like for that business to be called, to be termed as a sustainable, as a standard sustainable practice. So it's something that you have to like think about, and it's not something that you just achieve in a short term. It is something over time, long term. Maybe with time you get the funding, you're like, okay, I want to change this thing out. I want to make sure that I don't generate this CO2 again. I don't want to create gas again. I want to make sure that, okay, our system, green energy, a lot of things that it's over time. But when you have it in your plan, your sustainability plan, it's always very good. For instance, now some of these companies that are producing all these sachet and everything, most of the time they find ways to make sure that, okay, their wastes, that their own nylons and everything that they are taking out there, they want to try and use it into something else. That one is the circular economy. So what do I mean by circular economy? Because initially, before, we used to practice linear economy in such a way that when a product reaches its end life, like you just throw it away like that, they don't try to use it for something else, be a raw material for another product. So, and that is how we now find it in the circle now, that use it until, just keep going around until the life of that product finishes. And circular economy is not something that you think about when when you started your business or something. It's actually part of the design plan. It's actually part of the idea design. When you're already thinking about the design, about the idea, you have to think about the circularity part of it. How do I want to do it? And you don't have to do it yourself. These are the things that helps you, like talking about what you do, pitching your idea. So like you don't have to like do it yourself, everything, all the process yourself. So you just have to find a way to make sure that when this product finishes on my hand, how can I collect it back? How can I give it to take it to people that will now convert it into something else, that will give it another life. For instance, some tailors and everything, they have all these waste from fabrics. So they find ways to now say, okay, please, can you help us weave these fabrics into mats, the way you do floor mat and stuff like that. So they find a way to make sure that they just keep going like that, the circularity of it, the circularity of it. Why the sustainability is just, most of the time about the business, the practice of it. So yeah, let me just, I think I've already like just explained that a little. So, this year, because one of the things that we really, really say that it's one of our achievements so far it was actually this year, like the breakthrough that we've been looking for. And why do I say that? When we were doing the sachet and everything, it was not really getting much attention. It was getting attention because, okay, it was kind of different. People see it as something that is unique. People see it as something that is very, wow, this, that. But I knew that, okay, these are local solutions. I wanted to solve a global problem. How can I achieve that? How can we achieve that? Because, sometimes I'm opportune to like travel to some countries and I realize that some countries, they've even banned single-use plastics. They don't use nylons to like pack things for you at the mall when you go and buy things. They don't use pure water sachet in that country. They don't, a lot of things like that that are not in existence in some of these countries. But one thing that is common to all of us when I go to the mall, I see that even their food, their detergent, everything is still in wrapper. They still put all these noodles, all these oats, detergents, everything, they still put them in wrapper. Okay, do you now want to say that people that buy these things, are you going to tear it in the mall and pour it for them? I even had to like buy some of the things at the mall, but trust, guess what? They still had to like, everything. I took it to my Airbnb apartment then and, you know, just pour the soap from this thing and the detergent sachet wrapper just I had to throw it away. So you can't use it again. They are still considered as single-use plastics. So in as much as they try as that to ban some of these sachet and single-use plastics and everything, these things too are still there. And I'm telling you, they are really, really, really much. So I now look at it, I was like, wow, this is a global problem. It's still everywhere, like everywhere. That's why the fact that I did not see those other single use, the pure water sachet, everything on the floor. I still see some of these things on the floor. Some of these food wrapper, some of these detergent wrapper. I still see them on the floor. So what can we do? Like making sure that how can we use this skill that we're using to transform pure water sachet into bags, into different products? How can we use this detergent sachet, the wrapper for food and everything? And so when I came back, it actually like I started like thinking, okay, what can I do? So I look at my detergent sachet that I use at home, Fever detergent. I started keeping the nylon. Then I told our employees as well to bring the sachet as well, so that so that we can just try it out. So when we tried it the first time, it was not as easy as the pure water sachet. Maybe because we are used to working with the pure water sachet. Also, the nylon of pure water is kind of like more flexible, unlike the nylon from the shiny ones of the food wrapper and everything like that. So the cutting, the process, we had to now start documenting the process again. It was a new innovation on its own. It was a new idea, but the truth is, it's still the same. It was still the same idea that we use in making the pure water sachet that we use in making that. So it actually now helped us. So when we were not making the bags, we realized that the needle that we're using for pure water sachet, the product that we made from it, those needles were too thick for the food wrapper and detergent sachet. They started tearing the bag, like it just tear like into pieces, and we're like, wow, it cannot really withstand thick needles. So we had to change the needle in the machine to smaller ones. And when we changed it, I was like, wow, it worked very well. It didn't tear again and everything. So, a lot of things that you just have to go through in these things. Like, in as much as you are trying to do, remember to just keep, document the process. It helps a lot. So after doing that, and we now posted it online, the post went viral on TikTok. Fever Detergent saw it. They invited me to Kano. They partner with us to make 3,000 school bags for students. And aside from that, a lot of manufacturers, even outside the country, even from US, they send their sachet to send it to us in Nigeria to make bags for them. And in a way now, we are not able to meet up with demand again, unlike when we're not even getting much order. But now we don't meet up with demand. And with all those orders of email that I'm receiving, and now we're using it to now talk to investors that, okay, we need money. This is what we are getting. There's prospects, there's demand. We just need to scale so that we'll be able to meet up with this demand and we'll be able to generate more revenue. And aside from generating more revenue, it's going to create more environmental impact, because it's going to increase the number of tons that we collect and process every month. Aside that too, it's going to create more job for women and girls in community. So those are the things that, I feel like, okay, we can now use to, like, get more get investments into what we do and, scale. So, with that, it has now given us that creating local solution, for a global problem, because now a lot of countries now want us to come and set up planetary house in their country. So, these are the ways to just make sure that you keep thinking about what you do and be open-minded. Don't just say that, okay, I have arrived, like, okay, I'm okay, this is where I am. No, you just have to keep improving, keep like thinking about how to do things better. Yeah, thank you so much. Questions? I am done. You are muted.
Oh, thank you very much, Adejoke. That was really an insightful story on your background and how far you've come. I had always known that, something must have instigated something that brought you this far. And I'm happy to learn how far you're coming today. Thank you for sharing that with us. While you were speaking, I was penning down, points on the things that you actually spoke about. And I was happy when you mentioned that you failed. So it wasn't like you started and then it was rosy all through. And I do hope that our participants are listening and taking note on that. The fact that when you start does not mean that you get it right immediately. I love the fact that you mentioned that your first piece was a total error, and you said you yourself would not even buy it. I can imagine how bad that was. But then it didn't deter you, it didn't stop you, it didn't make you think, oh, maybe I can't even do this thing at all. Rather, it was a stepping stone for you to find exactly what was wrong and use it as a means of forging ahead. And I really would say that is what we're talking about when we tell business owners that you need that resilience spirit to hold on to the business, especially if you're doing something different, something meaningful, something that, this thing should have impact. The beginning shouldn't be should not justify the means. It should just be a stepping stone. So I learned that, and I'm hoping that our participant today also noted that. I also liked the fact that you mentioned the power of digital tool. Yes, it's very, very important for business owners to make good use of digital tools to scale their businesses. I mean, the fact that you just promoted some of the things you did with um, um, the soap sachet, and you were able to get the company to look out for you to say, you know what, come and do this with us. I mean, I imagine if you are not in any way um, done promotions and, put out what you've done with this sachet, like the pure water sachet, the soap sachet, and if you had not done this, I wonder if at all anybody would notice what you're doing at all. I mean, you'll be doing something within the space of your confine without anybody knowing, and you might just be doing something exceptional. So I would employ that business owners should please make good use of the digital tools. It's very, very important to help scale your business. And lastly, part of what I jotted was the collaborate and not compete. That's a very, 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 very important word from you there. Collaborate and not compete. I mean, it's very, very important for business owners to understand the power of collaboration. I mean, it's just like the last session, that physical session we had, and our facilitator was trying to pair the people in the room. I was wondering what she was doing, but eventually I saw the power in what she was doing. So you are selling bread, I'm selling bees. How about we collaborate? And I stay right in front of you. Those that want to buy bees might need bread. And somebody selling pure water is coming up to say, "Oh, I saw pure water after eating bread and beans." Somebody might just need to drink water. And in that way, we are harmonizing and coming together to bring about what we all do differently and use it as a means of collaborating to serve the people more. And that way we can all come together to even bring up initiatives and ideas that could even, take us way and above. So thank you very much for mentioning that, Adejoke. We really, really do appreciate you this morning. So at this point, we'll be going to the Q&A session. And because we're not just showing live here, we're also live on all of the social media platform. We will try to see, because we do not have any question here, but if you have any question, please go ahead and put your question in the Q&A box, and we would take your question, and Adejoke would be willing to um, throw more light in your question. So please put your question in the Q&A box and let us start taking our question. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think we have a question from Success here. Success says that, thank you for your insightful presentation. Please, do you train other young aspiring entrepreneurs in the environmental protection space on acquiring the weaving skills? If yes, is the training free, or do you charge a fee? Also, do you train people at your facility only, or do you do outside training? Adejoke, would you want to take this question, please?
Okay, yes, let me answer that question. So in the past, we used to offer training most of the time outside the facility, sometimes in the facility. But one thing that I've realized is that, most of all these are young people these days. They are just interested with the idea of, recycling, with the idea of, okay, this is what people are doing right now. Let me just do it. And it's, it's funny, and it's even not funny when some of them just come. I want to do a week training, I want to do one more training, and they want to be an expert. And I'm like, sometimes I look at it that, what does it take? How many years does it take for you to get that university certificate? Do you think it's that 4 years? It is since you started that primary one that it takes you to get that university certificate, that one certificate. And they just come and they just ridicule what you do, and they just want to learn it in 1 week. And sometimes it's just as if that they are wasting your time, they are wasting my time. Because at the end of the day, most of all these trainings that we had, most of them are not doing the work at the moment. I'm telling you, because they just want to cut corner. They just want to and most of all these organizations that now reached out to me these days, I don't even have the time. We are always very busy these days. So we've not been actually doing any training since February this year. So because sometimes it's like both of us, you can't be wasting your time and wasting my time with it, because some of them just want to take pictures. Some of these organizations that want to organize youth empowerment, women empowerment training, and they just want to like come and do 3 days. And I'm like, a whole skill, you want to learn it for 3 days? Which 3 days? So we actually stopped doing training for now. No training for now, except when we start maybe next year. I've even given some people, I gave someone next year, September, an organization. So for now, no training. We've done it in the past and it didn't work out. We're wasting our time. Okay, yes, I'm done with that.
Okay, thank you very much. I thought I thought I was unmuted. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have another question, and this person is saying that what are the common barriers to implementing waste diversion?
Well, I would say that the common barrier in like implementing waste diversion, like I'm telling you, logistics is actually one of the issues for everybody, because the truth is, these wastes are not generated in one place. They are not generated in one house. They are not generated in one office. Like, to get from this place to this place to this place, like sometimes they even get it, they keep calling you that, okay, come and pack this waste, it's plenty. And you again, you don't even have where to put it again. Like, even your own factory, the waste is even like too much there. So sometimes I'm telling you, like, logistics, to be able to get from point A, get the one that is staying in point D and everything. And if care is not taken, you would see that there was someone that, let me give you a scenario. Someone came one day and chattered Keke Napep, thinking that, okay, I brought plenty pure water sachet. So he actually chattered that Keke Napep. Was it 500 or 1,000 naira? I think that was the amount that I chattered the Keke Napep. On getting to our place, when we measured the pure water nylon, guess the amount the pure water sachet like got into. It was just 300 naira. And they already chartered Keke Napep like to bring those things. So sometimes it's a whole lot of issues, because the money is actually in the quantity. So when you are dealing with waste, the money is usually in the quantity. Logistics is actually kind of issue for almost everybody, like that is common. Yes.
Thank you very much for that, for answering that question, Adejoke. And then we have another question here that says, how many small business reduce the amount of waste generated in our daily operations? Do you have an idea of how
Well,
many?
I don't have that statistics. However, most businesses now, even when you apply for most of all these opportunities now, like fellowship program, all this accelerator, all these grants, most of the time they want to know if your business is supporting green economy. And what do they mean by that? When they are saying that your business supports green economy, it doesn't mean that you have to be in recycling, you have to be in waste management sector. They just want to know that, are you making money? Is your business not creating problem to the environment? So, most small businesses now are trying to tend towards it. Some make sure that, okay, I try to use solar, I don't use generator. That alone too is, you're actually supporting green economy. I don't have the statistics, I don't have the data, but I know that a lot of small businesses are actually like trying to like, be green as well. Not just the economy aspect, not just the money now, but making sure that, okay, the business actually supports green economy. So they try as much as possible to like make sure that some pieces that they get, some tailor like that. I know that even some pieces that they get, they use it to make earrings. They use it to make some other stuffs that, some ornaments that people can use and stuff like that. So these are the things that, some people are actually doing that now. It's unlike before, like, yeah.
Thank you very much, Adejoke. Another question we have from other platform is someone is asking, how can you take them through how you were able to secure grants and fund your business? What did you do differently to secure those grant opportunities?
Okay. Thank you so much for those questions. Actually, I've won about 18 grants, and I've mentored many people to win grants as well. So it's actually one of my strengths as in grant writing. And it didn't just come in one day. And this is one of the things I always tell people. We try to get discouraged just because we try something one or twice and it didn't work out. We get no, and we just be like, okay, I'm not doing it again. And you don't just have to say that you're not doing it again. You have to look at the root cause of the problem. Why are you not getting it? Is it that you don't have a great idea? Is it that you don't have bankable idea? Or because you don't know how to present your idea? A lot of people actually have fantastic ideas, but they don't know how to present those ideas. And this is one of the things that keep short-changing them from getting those opportunities, for getting those funding. So make sure that you find a way, just tell your story, but find a way to make sure that you narrate it in a way that will be suitable, that will be so sweet with the person that is reading, that the person will want to read more. And once they want to read more, definitely you are going to the second stage because they want to learn more, they want to hear from more from you, because they love your story, because they love what you do, they love, and it's about how you present it. A lot of people that don't even have as great idea as you are, they will get those opportunities because they know how to present it. When you are reading something and now look like a storybook and it's not interesting, you get carried away. Unlike you that you have great idea, but you don't even know how to present it. And this is one of the things I always say, learn grant writing. It is a skill on its own. Don't just say because you know how to write English. You cannot how to write English. It's not that say Ada is going to school, Kola is going to it. That one, it's just those normal things. But when it comes to like applying for opportunities, applying for grants, applying for accelerator programs, you have to understand how you are going to write them. You can't just go and say that I just want to write 10 years. A lot of work. See, the funding part is another is a whole masterclass on its own, I'm telling you. But let me just give you a hint of one of the things that I do. So when I see an application like that I want to apply to, I go to their website, I study it very well. You would think I do it like an assignment, like I do it very well. I go to the website, read about that program. What are the benefits? What are the goals and objectives? Why are those organizations, why are they calling for application? What do they aim to get from that program that they want to do, from that project? Why do they want to give out the money? I look at them. Sometimes, if it's something that they've done before, I look at the past winners, read their stories online, look at what they do, maybe similar, maybe there's something that they're actually looking for. This thing, you have to make sure that you do your own work too. You have to do your own part. It can't just come like that, like itself. There was one application like that I got into. This program I got into in 2015. So when I saw I read the website, studied it, notes down things, everything like that I needed. That okay, these are the key points that I really want. So they said that okay, if you are selected for that program, these are the things that are going to benefit. You're going to benefit learning from proven leaders, technological support, funding and stuff like that. And so when I saw those benefits, I noted them down. And when I was writing my application, and one of the things I do, I don't just write application directly. I try to get the questions out, then fill it on Microsoft Word or Google Doc, so that I just keep it there. So most of the time, because I will not try those things again, sometimes you finish writing all this like that, you click submit, and the network just do anyhow, and it just go back to blank page after writing everything that you've thought about. And sometimes your thoughts might not always be the same. Even if you want to think about it again and write it, it might not be exactly the same thing that you've thought about, that you've written before. And sometimes you get discouraged. So put it in Words or Google Doc. Then I copy it from there, paste it in the questions online, then submit. But aside from that, that opportunity that I got in, that was so I traveled for that too in 2015, and one of the things I did for them was that using their words against them, because there was a question that was asked in that application that why do you want to be selected? Like, if you're selected, like, what do you want to be selected? And I said that if selected, like, I know that the platform will actually give me opportunity to connect with peer network, because of that, the benefit that they've actually said there, it's going to give me access to proven leaders. It's going to give me it's going to give our business technological support, and make it grow and get funding, blah blah blah, like that. I make sure that I find a way to use those words. So when they are reading those things, it will be as if that, wow, this guy actually wants what we are giving out. There's a way that when you're giving out 200 and the person just comes to you and is that 200 that the person really, really wants. Like sometimes it just feels like, wow, we are connected. Like this person wants what I want to give. So there's this sync, like, you feel like this is the kind of person that I want because they want what I want to give. And that's just it. Most of the time, that's just the way it works. It's actually very simple, but it is a skill on its own. Learn grant writing. It's always funny when some people say that, I'm good at what I do. I just want to apply for grants. So those jobs, before you become fashion designer, did you not go and learn how to sew? Before you get that graduate, did you not go to school? So you have to learn it. Learn grant writing. It's a skill on its own. Don't just keep gambling into it, and you keep getting discouraged, and sometimes you now feel like you are not good enough. You are good enough, but you just have to make sure that you learn the right way of doing it. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, awesome, great. I mean, well done. 18 grants. Wow, that's a lot. You're doing there must be something you're doing differently that makes you keep getting these grants. We should come to you, to learn. Like we should have a whole master class, please.
No,
We are
not that.
booking you
Not about what
ahead.
I do.
We are booking you ahead. We're definitely going to tap into that knowledge that you use in getting these grants, like successfully. Well done. That's a very good one that you're
Thank
doing
you.
there. Yeah. So, but
Thank you.
I hear you and I hear all the things that you said, and you made a very valid point, which is the fact that two valid points, I mean, which is number one, the fact that you have it in you is just that you need to know how to couch those words. I mean, couching the words are what would make it catchy for the people that would vet and review your grant request. And I also like the fact that you made mention of the fact that grant writing is a skill on its own. You can't just say you know it. You just have to learn it. You just have to learn. It's normal for us to keep learning in life. If we do not learn, then we're ready to fail. And the more you learn, the more you get better at what you do. And I'm sure that even the fact that you know that you successfully get this grant, you are still equipping yourself with, I mean,
Yes, plenty. Yes.
exactly on things that you need to even know to help you get this grants and even scale yourself more in that respect. So well done, Adejoke. You're doing a great
Thank you.
job. We have another question here, and I hope you are ready for all of our questions. A lot of people want to tap from your knowledge, and this person is asking that what can be done to ensure that we have zero plastic in our waterways and drainage, especially in a country like ours. What do you think? What's your advice on what can be done to have zero? Because I think I concur with this person a lot of time upon the fact that we have people like you into this kind of business, upon the fact that we have a lot of people that are into this recycling business now. We still have plastic and pure water nylons and all of these things in our drainage and our waterways. And we really need to come up with strategies to work on that. So what's your thought on that, please?
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. However, it's a good one, but like I said, this thing did not come there one day, and it's not easy to actually change people's mindsets. Most people are used to, like, just throwing things away and everything, but there are ways that we can stop doing that. When governments come up with policies, like there's this stuff that I was telling one of these people in government, and I said that you guys will be doing all these policies. You will not call people that are actually like stakeholders. Call them so that you understand. They will understand you when you are doing this. Everybody gets along, and so that when you are enforcing those laws, and maybe you arrest them when they do when they go against those things, it will not be as if that you are just being impartial and everything like that. that you are doing these things because you've told them before. You even had the meeting together. They were there. They had their representative, maybe their ballet, their chief in communities, they were at the meetings and everything, and they told people that, okay, don't burn your waste, though. Okay, you don't throw your bottle into this thing. If you are caught, all this stuff like that. So, it's just something that we have to keep doing. Like my own, we just convert this thing. There are some people that are actually into advocacy, so they create awareness. That's what they do, because they just have to, everything is from the mindset first. When people are not ready to change, especially adults, it becomes very difficult to achieve this zero waste. And like I said, even if we are trying to achieve it, it is not something that will be achieved in one day. That is the truth. Even in so-called developed countries that we still see that, okay, everywhere is perfect. I'm telling you, there are still some areas that you still see some of these wastes that are being littered there. And nobody is going to be held responsible, especially when they don't know where they do it. Some people actually throw away their waste in the night. They throw it away in the night, throw it by the roadside in the night. How many people be outside in the night to ask them to pack it back or arrest them or something? So, it's all about individual, personal, this thing that, okay, we know that, okay, this thing is not right for our environment. And there's something that it's always like common to all of us. All of us want to stay in a clean environment, but we don't mind, we don't even care where those wastes are ending up. So far, it is not affecting our own community. So far, it is not affecting our own house, not affecting our own area. So, it's a collective effort. I keep saying in nature building is a collective effort. It is not one person that will do it. So everybody, because, those ways that we see on the road and everything, they didn't just put themselves there. When some people finish drinking in the car, they throw it outside the car. They don't keep it in their bag to go and dispose it properly when they get home, when they get to their office. So, all these things is still us, everybody, individual. We still have to do the right thing. Despite businesses cannot be the one to make the difference or something. Everybody has to be part of it for us to actually achieve what we want in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that one, Adejoke. I agree with you. It's a collective effort, and we all need to make the decision to want to do better in that respect. So thank you very much. Okay, so we have a last question, and I think that will be our last question, except another one comes up while you're answering it. And this question is still in line with the last one, but I think this person is saying that what is your own advice on the sustainable way to manage our waste in our country? What's your suggestion? What are those things you think we can put in place collectively, like you said, that it's a collective effort? So what's your advice for us to collectively do it?
Okay, so one of the ways that I'm actually trying to, will I say, create awareness and raise my voice about it, especially from next year. I really want to trying to raise voice about preserving our cultural heritage, because when we look at it, in those days, you hardly see waste clothes flying around because, maybe because of the ways that, we appreciate our own clothes, our this, our that. But now, there should be a standard of some clothes that will be coming into the country. Some t-shirts, I tell you, once you wear them at once, they just get spoiled like that. The neck just like open, the thing you just like widen up like that, and you have to throw it away. So a lot of some of these clothes that they bring in that are kind of inferior, government should find a way to make sure that quality things should come in. Then a lot of some nylon, some country have turned our country into a garbage place. Like, this is where they just want to come and dump their wastes, because they just keep producing 5,000 t-shirts in a day, 10,000 t-shirts in a day, and they want a place to send these things to. And before you know it, it litters everywhere. You can't even wear some t-shirt twice. So government have to find a way. Government has a part in this as well. Then also individual too, we have to make sure that, we make sure that our wastes, because it could be a waste to us. For instance, now your cloth is still fine. That particular dress is very nice. But because you are not wearing it again and it's taking up a space in your house, you see it as a waste. But it might not be a waste to someone else. Sometimes when we collect clothes from individual, when they send clothes to us, so we partner with some orphanage. So we make sure that those clothes that are still very good there, we take it to some orphanage so that they will have some new clothes and better clothes again. So sometimes we now collect the ones that are from those orphanages that are no longer good for us to convert into mats, into floor mats. So, that's just the way to make sure that you find ways to just reuse these things. And I feel like government policies too, because they just keep bringing things that will not last, keep bringing it to the country. Government needs to do something about that. I don't know the ministry that will actually do something about that, but we have to find a way to make sure that it doesn't go out again. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Adejoke. I agree with you. I mean, a valid point. Although yes, it has a lot to do with government's policy, but I would say that I think it's easier for you to know how to channel your waste and how to recreate your waste because you are in that space. For some of us that are not in that space, that probably want to really go green, but we just need to have those things in place that can help us go green. I mean, it might not be easy for us to just, put aside our waste and say, okay, I'm taking it to so place, it will be useful, except we know or we are able to map out, people like yourself that are into this kind of a program. And maybe that way we're able to say, maybe we're making the decision of bringing our waste that we know are useful for your organization to your place instead of just throwing them anywhere. So thank you very much, Adejoke. You made a valid point, but I think it's still something we all need to sit down and come up with the perfect way to solve this problem, because it's really a problem for us in our country if we really decide that we want to go green. And it's important that we go green, either we like it or not, because it's really, really very important for our life itself. So I understand what that person was asking and how important it is, and I appreciate your answer towards the person's question. I think we have one question in the chat box here, and I think this person is asking, although I don't understand the perspective the person is coming from, but the person said, what does it take to learn the technology? So I don't know what technology she's referring to there. So Shakira Bamiro, if you can please
You don't know the technology.
I would like us to
I know
please.
that it's kind of technology, but a low tech. We have some high tech, but this I would say low tech. So it's
Okay.
just the weaving skill that we are using, and creativity as well. Because I keep saying, in as much as you learn something, if you are not creative about it yourself too, you are not going to create things that are different, that are unique to your own brand. You just have to now be like copying somebody, because people will be like, this is what someone has been doing before. Even if you still want to do the same thing in that sector with that same waste, you have to find a way to be creative. If you are not creative, hire someone that is creative. There are things, like I said, that was why I started with SWOTs. Your strengths, okay, this is your weakness. Get somebody in that thing that that, okay, there's weakness. And I want to add to that, for the previous question that I just answered about, country going green, especially, I would say that in terms of energy too, about our electricity. And this is one of the things that I really appreciate about Kenya. Like 97% of their energy is actually, it's actually green. So this is something that we need to do too as a nation. Yeah, it will really, really help us. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Adejoke. This person is still asked further questions. We said it looks like this is supposed to be in all local government. Is there a plan to domesticate this?
Well, we actually plan to make sure that we have in different communities, because one of the things, like I said in my story that I shared with you earlier, was that, we don't just want to have it in one place and be bringing waste up and down. We want to use the same waste that is being created by those communities to create opportunity for them as well. So we plan to have it in different communities, but I tell you, it is not easy. Like, even to supervise, at the moment now we are in 4 places. We have 4 ops at the moment. So, we just have to keep doing, and that's one of the reasons why we are trying to get investments. So by the time we get investment, we believe that we are actually going to like scale to more communities. Government now, they are not being supportive like that to like, have it in different places. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Adejoke. Okay, so the last question is saying, how can recycling and sustainable environment help to reduce the effects of climate change?
Well, they should go and read more on all these things. They should read more.
Imagine. Please read more. But can you just give us a little insight on your thoughts on it? That how can it help to reduce?
Well, I just feel like, it's climate action is actually broad, about, green emission, this, that, waste, pollution. I just feel like, everybody just need, like I said, it's a collective effort. Everybody just have to keep doing their own. Like now, when you said, okay, we are trying to use all these nylons, instead of people to burn it and, all this flame, and it will now deplete the ozone layer, we make sure that that is reduced. No air pollution that will affect people's health and everything like that. So we feel like each and every our own work too is actually contributing to reducing the effects of climate change. So just find something to say that, okay, you want to do there. This is the aspect that you want to like take from the stuff. So with time, like, you are doing your own, you are stopping, you are reducing, like you are not making people to burn those waste again. Instead, they are using it to create opportunity. It's not creating air pollution, is not depleting ozone layer again. Our climate is being saved, because when we look at the sun right now, sometimes I see that I just want to like drop on our head. And that's because our ozone layer is being depleting, like it's depleted the way things are right now. And when you look at it, Nigeria generates, according to Global Waste Index, Nigeria generates over 60 million tons of waste annually, and less than 10% is being recycled. All this, they just go into the ocean, they go into this, that. So, and that's why every one of us have to we have to just find a way to combat. And so we are actually doing our own this thing to reduce waste. So by the time you reduce the waste, at least, stop all this burning and stuff like that. It's actually part of the action too. We are taking that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Adejoke. A very insightful session, I must say. I mean, I appreciate all that you've shared with us. You've come very far, and I really think that really it's a great one learning from you. And I must confess that it's been very interesting learning how far you've come, what you've done right, what made you continue, and what you're looking at doing in the future. And thank you very, very much on sharing
Thank you
your.
for having me. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Yeah, so just at this point, I don't know if you have a last word for us. Can we just take your last word, and then we'll bring the session
Well,
to a close.
the last word I'm just going to like use to encourage or inspire someone this afternoon is that, just make sure that in as much as it's you have the number already. Okay, for instance, now 5 kg of waste, that is what I want to convert. It doesn't mean that it is only that waste that you have to convert. Make sure that that product is appealing. It is something that even you yourself will be proud to use. It is something that when you get it home, when they buy it from you, they want to call their friends home just because they want to showcase, they want to like flaunt that product. That's the way we have to like keep thinking. And so you can add other products to it. Just make sure that you just want to achieve your aim. You want to achieve 5 kg of waste to make this product. So you can add other things to just make sure to beautify it and get your result and make that difference that you want to make. And also, please note, just because a product is being made from waste, it doesn't have to look like waste itself. Please let us remember that. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Adejoke. It has been a very interesting session. My participants would agree with me. And the last word from Adejoke is that fact that it's a waste product does not mean that the end product should look like a waste. I think that really, really is something to for us to go with and let it resonate with us, especially those of us in the space, in that renewable space where we are into this green economy business. Thank you very, very much, Adejoke. Thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
your time with us. Thanks for sharing
All
your
right.
insights with us. We hope to have you again on another session. This time around, we're going to have you to come share
I
with
know.
us the magic you do with getting grants. We want to hear. But that will be on another session. And for my participant, please ensure that you join us. This is our last masterclass session for this year. And trust me, it has been back-to-back interesting topics throughout this year. For those of our participants that has been on all of our sessions all through, we say thank you. Thank you for sticking through. We appreciate your presence and time all the time. And then we also hope that for everything that you've learned on all of our sessions this year, you please put them and imbibe them in your business so that your business can scale. That for us is what makes us successful and happy, that we have been able to impact your business and not just bring in experts to these sessions and have you listen without taking those words back for use. And once again, thank you all very much. It's been an awesome year, a very peculiar one. It has been a roller coaster kind of year. We've had it good, bad, and interesting. But in it all, we all stand strong and we keep forging ahead. And I can only but wish you a very wonderful holiday time. Let me be the first person to say Merry Christmas in advance to all of my participants. I wish you all a very wonderful 2024. See you all in January, where we come up with another topic that would be a banging for you. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.